You're trying to build a YouTube channel and there's this little voice inside of you that's telling you that you're not good enough, that you're a fraud, that you're not ready to build your YouTube channel, then today's video, I'm going to help you kind of get over that imposter syndrome and start getting out there, start creating videos and get your channel going so you can get some coaching clients from the brand that you're creating on YouTube. If you're brand new to my channel, I'm Czekanski, and I help personal development coaches build their brand on YouTube and monetize that audience over time by turning them into high quality, high paying coaching clients. So I put out content almost every single day. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm going to put out a lot of content that's going to help you build your coaching business, whether you're starting from scratch on YouTube right now, or you have an existing channel that you're looking to move up in the curve and get those clients that you're looking for. So before we jump in, I want to just share a story about my experience with imposter syndrome. So I worked in sales for a long period of time, over a decade. So working in those in-person meetings and going out there and selling products and services was actually no big deal for me because I just had that repetition and I've kind of developed those habits and that comfort level of actually doing it. But when it came time for me to put out some video content, I was terrified. That imposter syndrome was kind of through the roof and I had to kind of deal with it over time. And one of the key things that allowed me to do that is joining kind of a video challenge where, at the end of 30 days, we're kind of mandated to put out one single video every single day for 30 days. So this is something that I kind of saw as, okay, if I'm kind of dealing with all these fears and trepidation and kind of that resistance, Stephen Pressfield, the author, always talks about that resistance that I kind of resonate with a lot in the form of imposter syndrome. It's really great to kind of get over that. One of the key things that you should do, and this kind of gets into kind of the game plan for curing imposter syndrome, is by taking action, kind of dealing with that imposter syndrome a little bit. It might heighten your fears a little bit, but what you're going to do by taking action is you're going to give a response. You're kind of battling that a lot. So you're not just letting imposter syndrome kind of take over your life. You kind of have some response for it. You're saying, okay, imposter syndrome, I hear you, but I'm going to take action anyway. So at the end of that 30 days, it was one of those key things where I was taking action every single day. I still remember in that first week, those first couple days where I was creating video, I was kind of going through kind of a career transition at the time where I was moving out of that sales or thinking about moving out of that sales role and trying to find other different areas. But I felt a lot of imposter syndrome because I felt like a fraud. I felt like I didn't have enough knowledge. I didn't feel like I had enough information to go out to a broader audience on the internet and kind of present myself as an expert. So every single day when I hit that record button for the video, I just felt a ton of fear, a ton of resistance. And it was one of those things that I had to get over. One of the things that really helped me was kind of enlisting an accountability partner. So for me, when we first started the challenge, I said to my wife, if you come home from work at the end of the day and I still haven't posted a video online, then you have to kind of, push me out of the apartment at the time and kind of force me to do that video. This is really important to me. This challenge is something that I need. So I need you to kind of push me along in those days where I know imposter syndrome is going to be through the roof. But as I did that day after day, I kind of set a specific time. So before I got to work every day, I wanted to record that video and just get it over with. And that was really helpful as well, kind of being a little bit more organized, having it as a part of my day so that I knew I just had a set amount of time, having kind of a deadline. I only had a few minutes. So a lot of these videos were 1 or 2 minutes long. So they weren't even that long, but kind of just the fear of putting them out there and on the internet. And if somebody was going to call me out or if nobody was going to engage with them altogether, that was kind of the height of my fears. But as I kind of went through the challenge, kind of those fears started to kind of be silenced over time as I got a little bit more engagement. While I was being consistent with putting out videos, I started getting good engagement. People started commenting on them. They started getting a lot of likes. All those kind of things really helped in kind of battering down that imposter syndrome. But it was really kind of that consistent action of hearing that imposter syndrome, but really taking action anyway. That slowly over time, it just wasn't a large a volume in my ears anymore. So think about it as kind of like headphones. Like when I first started out creating those videos, the volume in my headphones was just kind of out of control. It was like a loud screaming. But as I took action every single day, slowly that volume kind of came down. It's not to say that your imposter syndrome will completely go away, but as you're kind of creating those daily habits and putting out content on a regular basis, so for you, it might be once a week, think about what works for your schedule, but I would say at least once a week so that your audience can get really consistent in seeing your face, hearing from you, and over time, you can kind of get to know what they want to hear more from in the comments and in some of your engagement and what videos work and what they don't. So number one is kind of taking action, setting that key time frame and just doing it. For me, sitting here in July 2020, as I kind of build up my own YouTube channel, I've kind of made the commitment for the rest of July. We're sitting here at July 5th. For the rest of July, I'm going to create at least 30 videos by the end of July. So if you're just starting out right now, you're seeing this video and you want to start to take action, you can, go along with me for wherever you are right now. I'm going to put out a video just by telling you this every single day. I'm going to stay consistent with that. By doing that, it's going to help build up my YouTube channel because it's going to feed into the YouTube algorithm. It's going to see that I'm putting out consistent content that's really going to be resonating with my audience. So again, if you haven't heard some of my prior videos where I talk about being very specific in who your audience is, or kind of creating content that is very searchable, go to this video up here that I linked to. Start there and try and get an idea of who your audience is and start creating content that really resonates with them. And that really helps with taking action as well. As as you kind of understand your audience, you're never going to be at a loss for ideas. So you're never going to have that imposter syndrome. Like, what am I going to post today? Like, how can I just create a video and I have no idea what to talk about? It's really in understanding your audience that you're going to get this long list of ideas and you're going to be able to sit down. It's going to be really easy for you to hit that record button and get through it really quickly. So again, take action is that first step. Second thing is really keeping it simple. So with YouTube, there's lots of things involved. There's video editing. You can have lots of video software. You can make your videos look, to the highest degree. But for this, as you kind of get going a little bit, I would kind of say to you, let's keep it simple. Let's keep our videos as we get to our audience. What's that one key idea that you want to share with them today or in this next week that's really going to help them along the way? Kind of how can we share and demonstrate our expertise along the way by kind of sharing a video that really answers their questions for what they're typing into the search bar. So we're not going to worry about if our video is perfect, if it has all the editing. Just go out there and create these videos, post them out there, see what the reaction is. Is it really resonating with your audience? Is it really what they want to hear? And I think you'll be surprised if you've done the work in terms of understanding your audience and putting out some of those ideas, that you're going to get engagement regardless of how great your video editing is and things like that. So for right now, we're just trying to batter down kind of that imposter syndrome as much as possible by taking action and not worrying about if our lighting is great, if our background is perfect, if we have great transitions between scenes. All those things aren't as important. And you'll see that for the rest of my videos here in July. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in doing video editing and adding that software and making sure my end screens are perfect. All those things can come down the line. Right now, I'm just trying to take action, get my videos out there, building that audience, kind of feeding into the algorithm and saying that I'm putting out consistent content that is really being well received by my audience. The third thing that will really help you with imposter syndrome is volume. So one of the key things that as you're creating videos, one of the things that imposter syndrome really comes through with is as you create videos and maybe you have one that doesn't get a lot of engagement or you didn't get a lot of views. It just didn't work out the way that you wanted to. And that's when imposter syndrome is really going to come through and say, you are a fraud, you can't do this. And this video is evidence of that. But if you're creating lots of volume, you're going out there and just taking action and creating lots of videos, you don't give imposter syndrome that chance. So again, go out there, create a lot of high volume of videos. Again, start at the very least, at least once a week. If you can do more, if you can do once a day, something like that, that's really going to help you kind of have that feedback loop with imposter syndrome and really bat it down over time. So lots of volume of videos is going to allow you to get over the fact that maybe one of your videos really didn't hit from the very beginning. And you're going to have that where, not all your videos are going to go viral or are not going to get a ton of engagement to start. But as you're putting out more and more content, again, the YouTube algorithm is going to see that. It's going to see that some of your videos are really getting really good engagement. They're getting views, and that's really going to help you as well. So even if you have a bad video and you post it today, you're taking that action further, and you have these further videos that really can give you a little bit better feedback over time. So know that 50% of your videos might not turn out to be exactly the way you thought it would, but you're going to have those videos that completely crush it over time, and it might be completely unexpected. But think about it as, okay, I'm going to have 50% of my videos aren't going to work out exactly how I want them to, but it also means you have another 50% that can go well beyond your expectations, that can get really great engagement, that can be the key to building your subscriber base over time. So really think about going out there and doing volume and putting that out there. That's really going to help you not focus on the results of a single video or something that you said within a specific minute of a video. Those are kind of the key instances where imposter syndrome is really going to overwhelm you and stop you from taking action as much as possible. So as you kind of go through this, I want you to, and as you watch this video, as you think about it right now, I want you to go in the comments section and think about what is that imposter syndrome kind of telling you when you're going out there and trying to create videos for YouTube? What are some of the phrases and words that it's using? And I want you to go into the comments section and really type those out. And what you're going to see as you look through those comments is the things that your brain is and that inside voice is really telling you is what a lot of other people are dealing with as well. So imposter syndrome is incredibly common, and you're going to see the same words and phrases from a lot of different people. And I really want to bring that through in the comments. So again, type out what you're kind of dealing with as you're trying to create videos, as you're hitting record, as you're thinking about those scripts or getting to know your audience. What are you hearing from that inside voice that is imposter syndrome? And put it in the comments, and I'm happy to kind of give you further techniques along the way that might be helpful and more specific to your situation. So again, go in the comments section and go through that. The other thing is for even more information about kind of the mindset. So mindset is incredibly important, not only in terms of building your business, but also your YouTube channel and getting more videos out the door and kind of building that over time. So I've got a lot of more content on my website, which is mindsetcopy.com. I also share more of my experiences of kind of dealing with that imposter syndrome. So, imposter syndrome for me is something maybe on a daily basis, I can hear that voice, but I've kind of strategized. I put some things in place to be a little bit more prudent by actually taking action, by keeping it simple, but also putting out a volume of work to not let it overwhelm me so that I can get to the point where I'm pushing my business in the right direction. I'm pushing my YouTube channel again in the right direction. And again, for the rest of July here, I'm going to be putting out a video every single day. And really, I'm going to try and make that commitment, going forward. Because again, that's been really helpful for me in creating great video content and kind of building my audience and doing it in a very systematic way. And I think it'll help you as well. So if this video was helpful, be sure to like it, share it with those other people that you know are dealing with imposter syndrome right now. Obviously, comment below about your specific situation about imposter syndrome. What are some of those words and phrases? And again, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more content about mindset in particular, but also key ways that you can build your YouTube presence and start getting coaching clients from it. So until next time, have a good one.